Hello, it's Pierre here at Big Wolf Marketing for another one of our tips video. This week, it's on a really interesting subject for us. It's sales psychology, and there's an actual technique that we're going to talk about today, which is the sort of no-orientated questions. It's a technique that was introduced by Chris Voss, the renowned former FBI hostage negotiator. While they're kind of completely different spectrums, one side, one the other side, luckily, they do actually have some of the same skills needed and some of the same sort of sales techniques. And yes, so let's jump into this actual technique, the no-orientated questions. So this is something that I've read a lot about. I've read Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference, which is fantastic. And also I've watched a great deal of videos actually on Chris Voss doing interviews and talking about techniques. And this no-orientated questions is really interesting for me, because when I started my sales career over 2 decades ago now, scary, I was always taught, to get clients to say yes, yes, yes. And not quite like that, but, effectively to get them to say yes. And this technique kind of gets them to say no. And the thought behind it is that, for example, when you're a kid and your mum or dad says, tidy your bedroom, are you going to tidy your bedroom? Yes, 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 yes. And if you're asked a question, would you like this? Would you like that? To say yes is a tiring and sometimes sort of quite triggering thing to do. Whereas no, psychologically, it's easier. The people don't feel quite as pressured. They don't. It's an odd one. So what he does, he has a technique where he slightly just turns it on its head. So, for example, if you were closing for an appointment, you would normally in sales, you would say something along the lines of, "Oh, hi, John, would you be open to an appointment sometime this week, Thursday, Friday?" If normally he would, that's a yes question, and that's an effort to get them to say yes. Whereas Chris would say, or he would turn it on its head like this. John, so I clearly can see that there's some benefits here. Would you be against possibly having a call later this week about this? And so flipping it on its head, would you be against? It's orientating him to say, no, I'd be up for that, And so by taking the emphasis, of getting them to say yes all the time, getting them to say no and leading them down a line of saying no, it's less pressuring. And then when you do get them to the end, they're likely to feel more open to saying yes. So it's a really interesting one. It's one of those ones where this really gets down into the nitty-gritty of sales artistry, really. To many people listening to this, they might think, it's all psychology, it's all flimsy, it's not. But really, if you're consultative, if you want to master your telemarketing ability and you want to get the best results, things like this, to use them and see if it works into your style is really powerful. So techniques like this, you want to build a toolkit of different techniques that you can use and try them, master them. If they don't work for you, then that's great. If they do, that's even greater. One thing that I do realize, and it's interesting, I should do a video on this at some point, is that there are techniques that are American techniques that just don't work in the UK. And similar, there's UK techniques that we have, which again, they just don't fly in America. So use these techniques, try them, but it's an absolutely fantastic trick. Well, I'd say trick, it's not a trick, it's a method, it's a way. In fact, it's the opposite of a trick, really. It's, it's best positioning a question to get the desired outcome. Do try no-orientated questions. I think you'll be surprised. People are a lot more intuitively designed to say no as opposed to yes. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, repost it, and do subscribe as well. I try to get videos up every week that are insightful with advice and tips. And of course, if you do need any done for you services, telemarketing, lead generation, appointment setting, check out bigwolfmarketing.co.uk. Thanks a lot and have a good week.